Hello everyone, today we're going to be doing a second tropical weather checkup for August 26th, and we're going to be looking at Typhoon Bobby, Tropical Storm Hernan, Tropical Storm Isabel, and of course Hurricane Laura. Enjoy. And here is the look at Bobby as it is making landfall in North Korea and China. That southern eye wall is still not looking very good. Here's the cloud fall. You can see that cloud fall reaching all the way up into Russia. Here's the water temperatures. This is why it is weakened, and of course it's going to weaken from land interaction with North Korea and China. Here is a look at past 24-hour precipitation. You can see that yellow line right there. That is where the storm has passed through. And here's a look at wind speed. You can see Pyongyang is one of the cities that is getting most affected by this. Dandong in China is another one that's going to get very affected by this storm. Now looking at intensity, 90-mile-per-hour winds and moving north at 22 miles per hour. Again, I don't know why I'm not getting a pressure gauge, and I don't want to give you any misaccurate information. Now going over to the storm that for some reason I cannot pronounce, I'm just going to call it Tropical Storm Isabel. Here's the look at the radar imagery. A very tiny storm, and of course moving very slowly towards the northeast. Now looking at the cloud fall, you can see that massive cloudy area in where the storm's track shows that it is going. Here's water temperatures, pretty warm ahead for the storm, but once it makes that turn towards the northwest, it will most likely weaken. Now looking at past 24-hour precipitation, you can clearly see that white spot. That is where the main center of the storm has passed through. Now going over to wind speed, that dark blue area is where the storm currently is moving very slowly, as you can see by the wind animation. Here's a look at the intensity, 40-mile-per-hour winds, 1,001 millibars of pressure, and moving northeast at 5 miles per hour. They expect it to stay around the 40-mile-per-hour mark of wind speed, and then once it makes that northwestern turn, it will weaken down to a tropical depression and most likely fade away. Here is the cone, no watches or warnings in effect anywhere right now. They're expecting it to just go out to sea and be harmless. Here's the chance of tropical storm forced winds. That purple area is where the storm is currently at, but mostly green for everywhere else, and those were the models. Now we're looking at the infrared of the storm, which is cloud temperature, which is a great way to check intensity. You can see that dark gray, almost blackish area, and that is where the storm currently is at. Now looking at water vapor, which is another good way to tell storm's intensity. You can see that massive area of convection where the water vapor is. Now looking at Tropical Storm Hernan, which is most likely bringing some showers off the coast of Mexico, as it is currently just off the coast of Mexico. Here is the cloud fall. As you can see, that massive area of cloud convection is where the storm currently is at. Here's water temperatures, pretty warm ahead for the storm until it makes that western turn and goes out into the colder areas of the Pacific. Now looking at past 24-hour precipitation, you can clearly see that white and purple area where the storm has passed through. Here is the wind speed. The dark blue area is clearly indicating where the storm is going. Again, very slow, same as Isabel. Now going over to the intensity, 40-mile-per-hour winds, 1,004 millibars of pressure, and moving northeast at 6 miles per hour. Same as Isabel, they're expecting it to stay at 40 mile per hour around that mark, maybe get up to a brief 45 mile per hour peak, and then fade away as a tropical depression. Here is the cone. Again, no watches or warnings in effect anywhere right now. Here's the chance of tropical storm force winds. A little bit of a chance on the Mexican coastline, 10% chance on that little piece that is sticking out from the Mexican coast. And here are the models. Only 2 models taking it in on the Mexican coastline. Again, looking at the infrared of the storm, here it is. You can see that dark gray area of convection. That is where the storm currently is at. Again, infrared is a great way to tell the strength of a storm without just looking at the radar. And here's the water vapor. That dark gray area is the strongest part of the storm. And here is our main storm, Hurricane Laura, which is currently a Category 4 heading for Texas and Louisiana. If you live in an area and they tell you to evacuate from the storm. This storm will kill you. They're expecting a 20-foot storm surge in the area where it will make landfall. Here's the cloud fall. You can see it looks so good for a storm. That eye is perfect right now. Water temperature, if the storm was a Category 4 right now, just coming off of Cuba, it would be a Category 5 by the time it got up here. The water temperatures are very warm in this area. Here is the past 24-hour precipitation. That white and purple area is where the storm has passed through, and that yellow area is where it is currently at right now, dumping all of that rain right there. Here's the wind speed. You can see the black area around the eye is where the strongest winds are. And as it comes on shore, it will be putting up those Category 4 forced winds in much of Louisiana and Texas. Now looking at intensity, 145 mile per hour winds, 947 millibars of pressure, and moving northwest at 15 miles per hour. They're expecting it to hit a 150 mile per hour wind peak and then move out over Arkansas, where it could still be a tropical storm by the time it gets there, and bring a good amount of rain to Arkansas and many other states like Kentucky, West Virginia, Virginia, Maryland, and New Jersey. And another possible one is the Canadian province of Newfoundland. Here is the cone for Laura. Warnings in effect for a lot of the coast of Texas and Louisiana. Hurricane warnings, that is, and tropical storm warnings in other areas. Here's the chance of tropical storm force winds. There's a large green area off the coast of Virginia moving up towards Newfoundland, and here are the models. And taking a look at our infrared satellite, you can just see how good this storm is. That black area around the eye is where the strongest winds and the strongest rain will be for this storm. And also here's the water vapor if you want to see that. Again, you can just see how good this storm looks, already starting to affect New Orleans and Houston, which are not in the immediate threat of the storm. Thank you for watching the second tropical weather checkup for August 26th. If you live in Texas or Louisiana and they tell you to evacuate. Hurricane Laura will kill you if you stay. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Bye.